Hello everyone and welcome to another video. This time we're not going to be talking too much about the Rings of Power. We're going to be talking a little bit more about what happened this week with Embracer Group. The Embracer Group buying the rights to The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit from the Soul Saints company. They bought Middle-earth Enterprises, as it was later on called. This of course sparked some weariness from the fandom, and they were worried when it was announced that this company is trying to make movies and spin-offs and so on. So let's dive into what happened. On August the 18th, Embracer released a statement in which they were announcing their agreement to buy Middle-earth Enterprises, which is the company created, a subdivision created inside the Soul Saints company. And according to this statement, it is said that now they hold the rights to worldwide film and feature film creation, as well as making and licensing, if they want to other companies, the creation of games, whether it is tabletop gaming or RPGs or trading card games or any other sort of game, video games included as well, and lots of other types of merchandise, whether it is t-shirts or ball caps, etc, etc. And they also of course have the rights to video games, which is something good for them because they also have lots of companies under their wing that create video games. Recently they bought Deus Ex, I believe, and also Tomb Raider, so they have, let's say, some experience in that field. Now, this is something that is not different from what the Soul Saints company initially had when they created Tolkien Enterprises, as it was first called, later called Middle-earth Enterprises. And it's just the same, nothing has changed. Still, there are some people, especially fans, that are worried when it was announced that now Embracer could make movies, and that perhaps maybe they would go with spin-offs or deeper movies into some characters like Aragorn or Gandalf or Gollum. So let's see how much of that really can be done. As you would expect, fan reaction was that of being worried and concerned that this was going to somehow cheapen up the work that Tolkien had created by making things just like Disney is doing with Star Wars, with spin-off stories that go nowhere. And because, let's face it, things like Obi-Wan Kenobi were not really that very well received, there was poor writing, and the fans were worried that that was going to be the direction that now Middle-earth was going to go with this new acquisition. However, these rights for making movies are right now, let's say, on hold, considering that Warner Brothers has, let's say, first option because they have the rights, and to preserve them, that's why we have coming up the War of the Rohirrim, that anime, that animation that is going to delve deeper into the past of Rohan, let's say, and the War of the Rohirrim seems to be one of those projects that has fans interested. So there's really nothing going on there that is going to change in the near future, and so long as Warner Brothers continues making movies or material related to The Lord of the Rings or Middle-earth as a whole, they will continue having those rights. They will not expire. It's something similar to what is happening right now with Sony and the rights that they have got to make Spider-Man content, and that they somehow lend the MCU so that Spider-Man can appear there. But it's the reason that we have so many projects also going on with Spider-Man on Tau, you know, because with that they make sure that they have the rights constantly with them. So nothing is going to change there really. And as for the situation of the Hobbit, for example, the Hobbit movies and all that. Sure enough, Warner Bros. Also has the rights to making those movies, but MGM in that case, in particular, with the Hobbit, they have the rights to distribution. So it's a little bit convoluted, but it's something that is really not going to make change. It's not going to make any change. It's not going to change things in any significant way in that part. Some fans also were eager to see that maybe this group could cancel the Rings of Power, but that's also an entirely different thing that we also need to check out. Case of Amazon's The Rings of Power, that's an entirely different story because Amazon got the rights directly from the Tolkien estate. That means that this deal is not part of the All Saints Company or Middle-earth Enterprises, and in fact, Middle-earth Enterprises does not hold the rights to any television work, not in for TV, and in this case for streaming, of course, is included or considered by Middle-earth Enterprises. So that's an entirely different thing that is going to continue going. So for those that were afraid that this might get cancelled, that's not going to happen. And for those who wanted this to be cancelled by Embracer now acquiring the rights, also, that is not going to happen. Those are entirely different things. Both are independent from each other. And the only thing that we have right now is to wait and see what will happen with the movie rights that are now in possession of Warner, and how Embracer is going to tackle that in the future if they want to really do these spin-off stories and all that they announced when they bought Middle-earth Enterprises. So as for now, the only thing that we have to do is to see how this develops, but not in the immediate future has changed or will change. We will see the release of the Rings of Power, we will also see the release of the War of the Rohirrim, and things are going to continue as they have been going right now. I hope that this enlightens some of that information and shed some light on what is really going on, because I saw a lot of people distressed that were worried that this might entail disaster or that this could be the end for the Rings of Power. Well, none of that is really going to happen. So thank you very much for watching, everyone. Let me know what you think about this new development in this story for Middle-earth down below in the comments, and of course also thank you very much for watching. I will be seeing you next time.